Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today on this cold wet winter morning in Costa del Telford, we're going to try and show you how to weld up your chassis rails. It's not a welding instructional video. You're not going to become an Instagram welder with this video, welding up old rusty MX5s, but we're going to show you the process and step by step as we have with the other videos, and hopefully you take something from it and it helps you along your MX5 restoration journey. Right, so what we have is the inner engine bay chassis rail panel that we've cut up. We've measured it to size, and this is what we're happy with. And what we want to do is we want to scribe around the edge. And the reason why we're doing it on the inside this time is because you've got power steering lines and the coolant hoses are all up in the way and they're very close. So to get up there with a grinder makes it extrementally difficult. So the beauty of using the black zinc as well is you can use a scriber or some sharp inanimate object and just go around the edge and make your mark. Like so. Right then, so what we have when you remove the panel and you've done your scribing around the edge of it is a nice clear line which you'll be using to cut. And this is the beauty of having the black primer, because it marks up really nicely when you've scribed over the top of it. And the reason why we're doing it this way is because getting a grinder up this section behind and in the engine bay is really difficult. So we're trying to make things a little bit easier. And what we'll be doing is using the grinder on this line here and possibly across the top, but we're going to struggle to get over this side here. So this is where you want to be adding a reciprocating saw to your arsenal. And with this, we're using an airline one because that's what we have. It's your hacksaw blade, but they tend to be a bit long, so we cut them down, and it should be able to cut up this line nice and accurately and across the top. Saves you struggling getting your grinder up there, because one slip or one knock, or it could end up either burying in your face, which has happened to me a couple of times, but this is why I wear a face shield, or you're going to end up cutting vital parts of your car, like the power steering line or the coolant hoses. So yeah, be mindful of that. Get a battery powered one or an airline one and you won't go too far wrong. Always remember, PPE is key. So there you finish cutting and trimming. You should have something that resembles a little bit like this. A nice tight fit, nice and square. And if you've kept all your fingers and you've not been to A&E, you're going in the right direction. So now it's time to go set the welder up. Right, it's about that time. What you want to do first is make sure you've got a nice area, which is nice and clean, rust free. This is zinc prime, so this is conductive. And get your earth out of the way. And then we're ready to roll. My setup is a Lincoln. I mean, it's a bit of an expensive bit of equipment, but there's nothing stopping you from doing this job with a decent gas welder. I say gas because you don't want to have pigeon shit, and that's what you're going to get when you're using a gasless welder, and it's just terrible. Lots of prep at the end, trying to get it all smooth and little pitted holes and stuff. It's just crap. Try and use a gas with argon CO2 mix. It makes for a nice clean weld and a better job. Another good reason why you cut your chassis rails down as well is the originals are 80mm and the replacements are 85mm. So you need to lose 5mm somewhere, so we do that by cutting it down.
Not your baby girl, I'm gonna run my own world. Tell me what to do. She's on respect just like you should. I do it on my own. They tie me down just like a tie. Start a fake shit, erase it. You know I'm more than flesh and bone. Stop, you still get in my way. Hand out, stumble in my business, I slay. Let your plan B, I did for the night race. In my head, pushing on, do what that shit say. Ain't got no time for the drama. Was it out like Rihanna? Feel my God, I'm never gonna tell me what's right now. You lost a fine girl, don't change anything.
Right, so now we have the outer panel tacked in. That's all in place. Most importantly, it is now 80mm wide. So we've lost that 5mm from the folds on the replacement panels. Otherwise they're too wide and they don't sit flush. And they tend to stick out about an extra 5 degrees at the top. And you're never gonna fold that back in because the material's too thick. So by cutting them down, we've managed to lose the 5mm naturally. So winning. So as I'm doing these videos, you could probably tell that it's freezing cold in here. It's literally colder than a snowman's ball bag. So hopefully with a bit of luck, I'll catch fire. It'll give you something great to watch and it'll actually be the only time I actually get warm in this place. So let's go. That's us finished it all up. So what we do now is linish her off with a 4-inch grinder in the flap disc, not flat, flap, as in bird. Then we'll get on to cleaning the brackets up for the anti-roll bar. They can go back on, spot weld them, and yeah, that's up next. Right then guys, up next is anti-roll bar bracket and radiator stay bracket, and these have seen better days, weeks, nights, years, a bit like me, and we don't want to be putting these on our fresh metal. So what we're going to do is strip them down with the wire wheel, or John the Baptist, as we've lovingly begun to know him as. Some rust converter and some zinc primer, and this is the first bit of prevention, because you can't put this rusty shit on that nice fresh metal. So yeah, let's get to it.
You said never let me go. 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 You said
So there we have it, that's one chassis rail done. This is all fully welded, She's linished off nice, so she's ready for zinc priming. Winning! Right, so now the chassis rails are done, what we're going to do is something that I haven't seen anybody else do, is put copper grease on the new bolts to stop them from rusting on the inside. So we'll give it a generous lashing of the good stuff. One. All around that. It's to stop anything from seizing up in the future. Like so. Messy. Right, so now your anti-roll bar bracket's now refitted. It's time to drop the last little final touch on this, which is the spot weld. Just like that. So there we have it, folks. Chassis rail replacement. Anti-roll bars back in. She's spot welded. And yeah, that's all that there is to it. I'm not going to bore you with doing the other side because it's exactly the same as this side. It's just mirrored. So yeah, apart from that, it's just assembly, put everything back on, and jobs are good in. So if you've liked my channel, please subscribe, like, all that good jazz, and thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next one.